Entra ID is all about three things, three A's: authentication, authorization, and accounting or auditing. Now, why do we need this Entra ID? Let's say, I'll take a very layman example. Let's say this is your office building. Okay, it is Contoso. Now, here is a security desk in front of your office, and you've got three floors. Let's say one is HR, one is IT, another one is finance.
Yeah.
Now, here is a security guard. Now, once you move to your office building, let's say this is you. Okay, this is Suhaib. Now, once you enter your office building, you have to face this guard. He asks you for your authentication to provide you, to prove yourself who you are saying you are. So how do you do that? You might show him your ID card, your official ID card. What information does that ID card have? Properties, your name, email ID, your employee code, and your, let's say, your designation.
Yeah.
Let's say you are an IT admin. Am I right? That's how it works. Now, what do you think, according to you, Sohaib, according to your details, which floor does this security guard will give access to?
Where I work, what I'm doing.
You are working as an IT admin.
Yeah. So I'll go to the IT.
IT, yes. Should he give you access to HR and finance as well?
No need. If I don't go.
No.
There. Yeah.
Exactly. No, right? Why? Because that's not needed. And that's what we call it as, something called as least privileged access. So it's a concept of Microsoft Azure. The concept is basically this: zero trust principle. We'll learn about it when it's time. Zero trust principle says don't trust anyone, verify everyone. That's what it says.
Yeah.
So here the security guard is doing two things. One is authenticating you. How? By checking your employee code that you are a valid employee of this company. Second thing is doing is, you said that you will be given access to only the IT floor. So that is authorization. So authentication is all about asking someone, who are you? Authorization is all about asking someone, what level of access do you have? Okay. Then comes auditing and accounting, like checking your activity log, what this employee is doing, where did he log into, which portal did he log in. That's a part of accounting and auditing. Sign-in logs, audit logs, right? Now that is your Entra ID. Now talking about Active Directory. Do you know the protocols that Active Directory use for authentication and authorization?
No, I don't know.
Okay, it uses Kerberos. That's for Active Directory on-prem. Whenever I say ADDS or Active Directory, understand that I'm talking about on-prem AD. So it uses Kerberos and LDAP. Have you heard about Kerberos and LDAP protocols?
I heard about LDAP, but Kerberos first time I heard about it.
Yes. So these are traditional authentication approaches or protocols. In the modern days, the Entra ID, it uses something called as, for authentication, it uses WS SAML, means it uses Open ID Connect, which is built on top of this. So the technology here is Open ID Connect. Okay. And for authorization, these are just protocols. You don't need to learn about them. You just need to have knowledge, like what Entra ID uses. Okay. So for authorization, it uses OAuth. That's the protocol. For authentication, it uses OpenID Connect, which is built on top of this only. And for authorization, it uses OAuth. Now that I've given you almost all the differences between on-prem AD and Entra ID. Now you said when we talk about on-prem AD, you must have seen the panel that we have got a forest. It looks like this, your domain, let's say contoso.com. Then under that, you've got your OUs, you've got your users, computers, right? Group policy objects. Here in Entra ID, this is like a tree structure, right? A hierarchical structure, if you see. But in Entra ID, this is not the case. Entra ID follows a flat namespace structure. Means it doesn't have the concept of OUs, GPUs, no. It has flat namespace. Every object is treated equally. And in Entra ID, we don't follow the concept of forest or domain. We have the concept of tenant, or which we call it as directory. I'll show you this in the Azure portal as well.
What is this word?
Tenant or directory. Tenant.
Tenant. Okay.
Tenant. Yeah. Tenant.
Yeah. Okay.
A tenant or a directory represents a single organization. So let's say if you have contoso.com, that is a tenant, but that is a directory. If you have fabricum.com, some companies have their child companies, but these child company as well, they will have their own tenant, independent tenant. That is fabricum.com. Let's say if you have tailwind.com, let's say tailwind.com. That's again a different tenant. So you have 1, 2, and 3 total tenants or 3 directories individually. Those are all the differences between on-prem AD and Entra ID. So what's Entra ID? Entra ID is a cloud resource that lets you manage your users, devices, and applications. Now, one thing I missed here is if I talk about identities, what is an identity according to you?
Who are you?
Who are you? Okay. Identity can be any object that can authenticate itself. Okay. That, as you said, who are you? That can answer that question. Who are you? So it can be a user or a group, first thing.
Yeah.
Or it can be a device, let's say a Windows server, or it can be an application.
Oh, you mean that Inter ID, I mean the device can be registered in Inter ID as well?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
See, whenever you enter any, you try to enter into any website, it asks you for a username and password, right? So means you are a user. Let's say in a company, you have a portal. You will enter your username and password. That means user is an identity. Sometimes you have devices, right? Let's say you're trying to access any portal from your company. It asks for your device credentials. So that device is also able to authenticate itself. You know? And then we have applications. Applications can also authenticate themselves. And they have something called as service principal. That's a different concept. It's not a part of this module, like this course. But yes, applications can also authenticate themselves.
And how the device will authenticate itself, the device?
Using its username and password. Maybe fingerprint or something.
Okay.
Right? Now, when we say user is an identity, there are three types of users in Entra ID.
Yeah.
First up, we have got members. Now, members are nothing but cloud members. Means an identity that was created in Azure itself, Azure portal. He's not coming from any on-prem or any other hybrid cloud. No, it's a complete cloud. Like it was created in Entra ID only. That's a member. Then we have a guest, or which we call it as external identity.
Yeah.
That's second one. Third one is hybrid. Guest means when you are inviting someone to join your tenant or directory. Let's say if Contessa.com is planning to have a collaboration with Fabricum.com.
Yeah.
But they don't want to create accounts for Fabricum.com. So is there any way? Yes, they can send invitations to the users sitting in Fabricum.com. And that invitation will be sent over their email.
Yeah.
That will be called as a guest identity. So that this Fabricum employee can access the resources that you allow. And hybrid is basically an identity that is coming from on-prem, or maybe it is present on on-prem as well as Entra ID. That's a hybrid identity.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Now that we know what's Entra ID, what are the types of identities. Now I said that we can migrate from on-prem to Entra ID. How is it possible? Let's say if you have hundreds or thousands of users, don't you think it will be a headache to migrate these users, their passwords, their applications, their access levels, permissions, their roles, admin units, right?
Yeah.
So can we automate this? I say yes. We have a tool which is called as Entra Connect. So we have this tool which is Microsoft Entra Connect. It is basically a tiny piece of software that gets installed on your Windows server. Let's say this is your on-prem AD, your domain controller. On here, this software will be installed. It will sync all your users, groups, passwords, SIDs to Microsoft Entra ID. Gives you automatic background sync to your managed domain. That's the power of Entra Connect. You see?
So Interconnect is the software used for, it is on-prem software?
Yes, it's for on-prem. It's not an on-prem. It's basically a software that is designed by Microsoft. It can work with any cloud platform as well. But yes, solely the purpose is if you are having on-prem AD, that means you're having a Windows server. Based on that, it will get installed on this Windows server, and then it will move all your resources to Entra ID. It will sync all of that.
And is this tool used by day-to-day the admin? Or
yes, absolutely.
Only once, okay.
Yes, once you install this tool, once your identities are here on Entra ID, then I don't think you need that tool anymore because everything is on Entra ID now. Every user, every group.
This is used only for synchronization?
Yes, only for synchronization. For migration, basically. Migration of your identities. Okay?
And if a new employee came to the company, where we enter him? In Entra ID or in Active Directory?
If you migrate completely to Entra ID, then it will be a part of cloud member. It will be an Entra ID now.
And can we sync it back to AD or?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, that's possible. As I said, remember the third identity, hybrid identities. What is a
Yes.
hybrid identity? That is present on-prem as well as Entra ID. So yes, you can have your identity present at both of these platforms. There are some companies like official government companies which are very, what can I say? Which are very keen about their compliance.
Yeah.
So they want to be present at both the sides. So yes, that's possible. Okay.
And the hybrid, which tools it's using still Intera or Connect? The hybrid.
Entra Connect. Yes, Entra Connect only.
Now, if I install it in my computer,
Huh.
what I need connection to the cloud.
Yes, you need an
Okay.
Entra ID, like an Azure portal.
You
A
will
valid.
show me this one. You will show me this one if you have time.
I'll show you the tool exactly. I don't have any Windows server, so let's discuss some features of Entra ID. Have you ever heard about single sign-on?
Yeah.
What
I
is it?
do. If you have more than one application, you sign in only once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Single sign-on is all about having single set of credentials. Okay. So let's say your company has various portals like HR portal, attendance portal, developer portal, or anything else. Do you need separate credentials for all of these portals? Entra ID says no. You can use this feature, which is single sign-on, means you can have single username and password, and using just these credentials, you can log in anywhere in your environment.
Yeah.
That's single sign-on, right? Using Entra ID, we can manage and provision users and groups. That I'll come to it in a few moments. It's providing an identity management solution, including federation. Do you know what's federation?
I heard about it, but I don't know exactly what is the meaning of it.
Okay. Okay. If I ask you, let's say you log into any Nike website or any website, they ask you, how do you want to log in? Do you want to use your Gmail ID? Do you want to use a Facebook account, Apple ID, or maybe your Microsoft account, right? You might have
Yeah.
seen those options. What is that? So federation, you can think of it as a universal key card or a diplomatic agreement between two different organizations. Now, in this digital world, federation allows a user to use one set of credentials, like a username and a password, to access applications and data across different networks or companies. Okay. So imagine you work for a company A and you have a security badge that lets you into your office. Now, without federation, if you go to visit company B for a meeting, their security doesn't trust your badge. You have to stop at the front desk, show your ID, fill out a form, and get a brand new temporary badge just for their building. Now you have two badges to carry. Do you want that? No. With federation, company A and company B have a federation agreement. When you walk into company B and swipe your company A badge, their system talks to your company's system. Okay.
Yeah.
So you never had to give company B a new password. They simply trusted the vouch from your home company. That's it. That's federation. Okay. A foundation of trust between two organizations.
Okay.
So that's federation services. Then you can implement security features like MFA. Do you know what's
Yeah.
MFA?
I know.
Okay.
Multi-factor.
Two-step verification.
Yeah.
Yes. Multi-factor authentication. Like if you, let's say this is your HR portal of your company.
Yeah.
How will you sign in? You'll use your username and password. Simple. But your company says that's not enough. That's only first step of verification. You have to prove yourself again. Maybe enter an OTP received on your mobile phone via email, or you need to go to your authenticator app. Hope you know about authenticator application.
Authenticator.
Microsoft.
Yeah. This
Right?
is the app
Yes.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes even it asks you security questions. Have you heard about it? Like which city you were born, or
Right.
what was your first car, right? So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
second step of verification, which is multi-factor authentication. Means not proving you with only once, but two-step verification. And these authentication methods, like do you want to send an OTP to the employee, OTP via email, do you want a phone call? All these you can decide as an Azure administrator, and that feature we call it as authentication methods. How do you want your employees to authenticate themselves?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have conditional access. Conditional access basically means giving someone access based on a condition, if and then condition. I say if the employee is trying to log in, let's say employee.location, I'm just taking a basic example, is equals to Canada, then only allow him the entry. Otherwise deny. So what is that? Based on a condition, based on a signal, I'm giving that employee access. So that's conditional access, giving someone access based on a condition.
Yeah.
That's all about Entra ID. See, this is what we learned, right? What's an identity? Any object that can be authenticated. It can be a user, group, device, application, anything that can be authenticated is an object. What is an account? Account is account is basically, let's say I create Sohaib at the rate contoso.com. What is it? It's an account for me. That's an account, an Entra
Yeah.
ID account, right? Then what is an Entra ID account, which was created in the cloud itself? So basically here they are referring to member, cloud member, an identity created through Entra ID or any Microsoft cloud service. That's an Entra ID account. What's a tenant or a directory? Simple. This contoso.com, this is a directory for me. Fabricum.com is a different directory for me. It's a dedicated and trusted instance. It is automatically created when your organization signs up for cloud service subscription. So what they are saying is, when you get an Azure account, Azure portal, first time you sign up for it, you get a tenant automatically created for you, which we call it as default directory.